really started to think about really my thoughts here since, my brother died and my weight loss and that balance between good and bad, right? Good, evil, yin, yang, and all of that. And so that's part of the conversation that I wanted to have with you this week.
Making sure the camera doesn't fall.
But have that conversation with you this week about that balance that I do and that I've been trying to do here even since last year. But this is week 2. No, it's not. It's year 2, week 6. So here in week 6, I've really been thinking about this for a long time, not really just this week, but I've been thinking about my own emotions and stuff from, especially, yes, with my brother's death, and how most of the time when I think about my brother, I can choose to get angry, right? It's not really a sadness, it's more of an anger. And that really then got me thinking about what happens and my observations in the world, and that includes myself, and I. But it includes myself, but also the world, my observation of what happens to people with emotions and all of this. And because as I mentioned, even when I was out in Austin, and I'm pretty sure I filmed it and had it on the vlog and stuff, I was, some days out in Austin, I was real angry. I chose to be angry at my brother, not the situation, I will say it, at my brother. And I can still choose to get angry when I think about my brother. But there was times there in Austin when we were out in public that I wanted to hurt people. I wanted to actually manifest my anger into behavior that was violent. And I've been thinking about this for some time, and I wanted to actually talk about it. Seems like maybe the right time to talk about it, maybe not the best while I'm driving, but that's what I'm going to do. Is how people's thoughts and their emotions and how it manifests into behavior. And so I'm going to talk, kind of put my engineering hat on here a little bit, maybe my psychology hat, I'm not really sure what it is, but talk about that in my own experience with my brother's death, and then because of that whole situation, and in my sadness, my emotion, my anger, that those emotions then really manifested or started to create where I basically wanted to hurt other people, and that's a difference. So I think when people are unhappy, when they're emotional, that whether it be that they're envious or whether it be that they're resentful, whatever it might be, that leads to typically the emotion of anger. And where it becomes a problem and scary, like it did with me, was it then leads to violence. And for whatever reason, because I will not know now, because I do like to go to the source. When I have a questioning attitude, I like to go to the source, not hear things hearsay or third hand.
It's been a long day without you, my friend.
Second hand, third hand, fourth hand, whatever it might be. But so I'll never know since my brother's dead now. But for some reason, my brother was resentful or envious or unhappy or whatever emotion, and that manifested into anger, and it manifested into violence, and therefore it manifested into violence upon himself. And that's how I putting my engineer hat on, that is how I look at it. And of course, then there's other people that become envious and resentful in the world and so on, and they then become angry, and they become violent, and they do it upon others, which is a whole nother spectrum. And you might be thinking, well, what does this got to do with what you're wanting to talk about this, like, balance? Well, that's what's been going on with me here, and I've come in touch with, or come to terms with, or understand that there is good and bad in the world. There is good and bad within me. There is productive and destructive behaviors that I have. Clearly, I was fat. The world was giving me, when I say the world, I mean the earth, the planet was giving me feedback, because just the force of gravity of the earth sucking me into it was hurting me. So the feedback that the earth was giving me was, hey, you need to probably do something, because my ankles hurt, my knees hurt, my back hurt, I just hurt, sitting for long hurt. And so the earth was telling me, the interaction between you and I, and that interaction is not going to change between the earth and me, at least not yet, until I'm able to get into space. So, but yeah, that I was getting feedback, and for a long time I ignored it, and it was messing me up because I ignored that feedback, and I then started to get into the emotion of something is wrong with the world. But the world is just the world. And again, when I say world, I don't mean the man-made world. I mean the physical world, the planet, the earth. And I chose to ignore it for many times. I got fat and all this pain and everything. And then I could tell that I started to get resentful, and I started to get envious of other people and what they were able to do in the world, and interact in the world, and transact in the world.
Excuse me.
And I never really became angry, but I recognized that that is the path that very easily people can go down. So I've decided that, hey, I am going to recognize that. I am going to acknowledge that yin and yang, that good and bad, or that good and evil in me personally. And so I've come up with some new hashtags that you will see on my videos. You'll see it on some new merchandise that I'm going to have made for myself right now, because I don't really have a store or anything, because I've got, 111 subscribers or something on my YouTube channel. But is this hashtag 333, because on the 333 that I've always had, there's a story there. Is the same colleague that I just had lunch with when we were on a business trip found socks that said 333 half evil. I thought that was amazing. And so that's why I really made the E's in Uncle Mike into 3-3. So there is a meaning there that I'm half evil. 333, 6, right? Pretty easy to understand. And so it's always been there, this whole idea of half evil. It's been in my tag here of Uncle Mike since I started this in year 1. So now I'm just going to act on this a little bit. I'm going to hold the camera so it don't fall over, because it fell over several times already. I just didn't catch those on video because I reset it every time. So now I'm going to start to use the hashtag of 333 half evil and the hashtag of 333 half good, because I recognize that those emotions are real, that feedback is real, that I am half my dad and half my mom, so I'm definitely half evil and half good. That's a whole nother story. And so one of the things that I do in the world to cope with all of this half good and half evil is I use comedy and humor, and I mock people, and I satire people. And so one of the things that I have done because when we're traveling here on business, I just happened to look at a Yelp review after I did a dramatic reading of a Yelp review that my sister-in-law was actually in the review. I will share that review in some future vlog. But I've decided that every once in a while in my vlog, whether I start adding video gaming or whatever, but every once in a while I'm going to add some type of comedy. I kind of did it back, I think it was week 4 in year 1, with my kind of my satire and my mockery of these, you know, bathing suit, lingerie, dress hauls that are all on YouTube and all this kind of stuff. So I'm going to introduce to you now the whole idea of the 3-3-3 half evil theater. It's really dumb, but I had a good time doing it, and I think it's pretty funny. So enjoy the performance. Bye.
Welcome to opening night of the 3-3-3 Half Evil Theater, where we mock and we satire you. I am your host, your favorite YouTuber's favorite half evil uncle. I am Uncle Mike. The script for this performance is brought to us by Tori C. and her Yelp review of the Black Sheep Cafe in Provo, Utah. Enjoy the performance.
I wanted so badly to love this place. But there was a long black hair on my burger. I vow to never return. But it still makes me sick because I ate so much of my burger.
Thank you for watching this performance of the 3-3-3 Half Evil Theater. You are amazing. You can find more information on this performance, the script, in the description. Check out these other 2 videos and subscribe and chime that bell to get notified.